first question says that the cumulative frequency graph shows the heights of 120 sunflowers. Find an estimate for the median height. So median means the middle value. So if we divide 120 by 2, that gives us 60. So we have to find the 60th value from the graph. 60th value is equal to 30. So 30 centimeters is your median height. Then it says the smallest sunflower was 15 centimeters tall. The tallest was 48 centimeters tall. Complete a box plot. So smallest means this is your minimum value, and tallest means this is your maximum value. So first we need to create a scale for this. We can say this is 0, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Since the maximum value is 48, it's not going to be greater than 50. And since the minimum is 15, so that's going to come over here. Median value is also identified in the previous part, which is 30. So this, and this. Now we need the interquartile range. So for that, we need the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So lower quartile is going to be 1/4 of 120. That's 30. So we need the 30th value for the lower quartile. So 30th value comes over here. Just 25. And then for the upper quartile, we need the 3/4 of 120, which is going to be 90th value. That is it. 35. So lower quartile is 25, upper quartile is 35. So all we need to do is draw this information over here. 25 is this. 35 is this. This is our block. This is our box. This is our box plot. That's the minimum value. That is your maximum value. This is your median. This is your lower quartile. This is your upper quartile. Then it says Jamie, Fred, and Louis each take a penalty. The probability Jamie scores is 4/5. The probability Fred misses is 2/3. And the probability Louis scores is 3/4. What is the probability that all three miss? So for all three to miss, first we need to find the probability of Jamie missing. If him scoring is 4/5, him missing is going to be 1/5. The probability that Fred misses is already given, and for Louis, it's going to be 1/4. So 1/5 times 2/3 times 1/4 is going to equal to 2 ones are 2, this is 2. So that is 1/30. That is the probability of all three of them missing. Then say the circle has an area of 120 centimeters square to the nearest 10 centimeters square. Work out the upper bound of the radius. So for the upper bound of the radius, first we need to remember that area equals to pi r square for a circle. This area is given correct to the nearest 10 centimeters square. So whatever is your degree of accuracy, first you need to divide that by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5 centimeters squares, which means for the upper bound of the radius, looking over here, radius would be equal to area over pi being squared. That is how we find the radius. So once we've figured out by how much the value is going to increase and decrease, in this case, we need to find the upper bound of the area. So upper bound of area is going to be 120 plus 5, which is 125 centimeters square. Since it's the upper bound, so we add 5 to the area value. If it was the lower bound, we would subtract 5. So now radius would be 125 divided by pi, being square rooted, and that gives us the value of 6.308 centimeters for the upper bound of radius. Then it says solve 5y squared minus 4y minus 1 equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation, and they're asking us to factorize this and then give the values of y. So to factorize this, either you can use the quadratic formula or splitting the middle term. I'm going to use splitting the middle term over here. So we multiply the coefficient of y squared with the constant. So 1 times 5 is 5. Then we find factors of 5. The only factors of 5 that exist are 1 and 5. So now, once you've figured out your factors, you rewrite your middle value of the equation, which is 4y, in terms of those factors. So that basically means we're writing negative 4y as negative 5y plus y, and everything else is the same. As the name of the method itself suggests, it's splitting the middle term. You're splitting the middle term into the factors that you selected in the previous step. Previous step being when we multiply the coefficient of y squared with the constant, we got a number. We write down factors of those numbers. In our case, our number was 5 and factors of 5 are 1 and 5. So we know 5 minus 1 is also 4. So we replace negative 4y with negative 5y plus y. Now we factor by grouping by splitting the equation into two groups. Between 5y squared and 5y, we have 5y common. So 5y bracket y minus 1. And between y and 1, we have 1 common. So plus 1 bracket y minus 1. So now between 5y and plus 1, we have y minus 1 common. So we take that common. And 5y plus 1 come in the second bracket. All of this is equal to 0 as stated in the question. So both the brackets are separated and put equal to 0. So one value of y is positive 1 and the other is negative 1 over 5. These are your answers.